There, did you see that? Oh my gosh. Look at the bass with him, guys. That is a giant. Oh my gosh, he's trying to get the swim bait out of that one's mouth. If you don't think they want that swim bait. Hey guys, Tyler Berger here with Bass Fishing HQ, and today I'm kind of looking at another Japanese product. This is actually a swim bait. This is called an Amakatsu Stealth Swimmer. I think this is a really unique swim bait, and this is not a new swim bait to the market. It's actually been out there on the market for, I think, 8 years, 9 years. It's been out for quite a long time, but I really haven't heard anything about it. I'm getting blasted by the sun right now. I really just haven't heard anything about it. It really kind of looks and acts similar to Megabass Magdraft swim bait, which is not only one of my favorite swim baits, it's one of the best swim baits out there on the market right now. So I just kind of wanted to look at this bait, hopefully come out here and catch a couple fish on it. It's August, although we do have a little bit of a cold front happening right now. I don't really know if I'm going to catch anything on it, but I did just want to kind of look at this bait, see how it works, fish it. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. Dang, this thing looks so good. A couple of things that I've noticed about this bait right off the bat is that it has pretty much the same action as a Magdraft. The main action that I really like about that Magdraft is that the head wobbles back and forth on it when you bring it through the water. And I've heard from a lot of guys, a lot of big swim bait guys that, you know, Fred Rumbanis, Chris Zaldane, they talk about that head movement and how going back and forth is a huge key. And so this bait has that exact same action when you bring it through the water. That's exactly what you want to see in a swim bait. Another thing that I've noticed about this swim bait already is that I can actually fish it at a little bit. Oh my gosh, there was a bass. Okay. What I was saying is that you can fish this at a higher speed than you can the Magdraft. The Magdraft, guys, I love the Magdraft. Like, it's one of my go-to lures to use, but it tends to want to roll. When you want to try to kind of fish it at a higher speed, it'll tend to kind of kick upwards. I'm not talking about the freestyle Magdraft. I'm talking about the one that has a treble hook on the bottom of it. This one, you can actually fish at definitely a higher speed. I'm actually keeping this one pretty high in the water column right now, and it's staying really, really straight, which I really, really like. The other thing about this, and I'm not sure if you can see this, but this thing skips really well. Swim baits skip well in general, but this thing actually does skip, I mean, really well. The biggest reason why I wanted to look at this bait is it has a very unique hook system in it. It actually has an internal hook in it that when you set the hook, this hook actually pops upwards like that. Isn't that kind of crazy? So it actually stays down there. There's a magnet on the bottom side that kind of keeps it down. When you set the hook pops upward just like that. Really unique design to it, extremely weedless. There's actually a spot on the bottom of this bait to put on a treble hook, similar to the Magdraft. I'm purposefully not putting a treble on it though today, because I want to see what the hookup is like on this thing with just the main hook and the way that it kind of shoots out of the top of the bait. Actually, I've had about 2 or 3 bites now, and they've been pretty much like 1 pound bass. I've actually been able to see most of them, and they have not got hooked up on this bait. I don't know if they're just not taking the whole thing in. I gotta imagine if you get bit by a 2, 3, 4 pounder that he's gonna get that whole bait and get that hook. So, but I'm just trying to figure that out right now. There's a tree laying in the water over here, and so I just threw this right over top of it. I'm letting it sink for a minute to really get it down, and just bringing it over that limb, and it's not getting hung up. That's a really, really huge benefit to this particular bait. Man, that thing just looks so good. Oh golly. Don't have the perfect conditions for this swim bait right now. I just had about a 2.5 pounder follow that, and oh, there's a fish. All right, well, okay. That fish, wow, okay, a lot just happened right there. First of all, I had about a 2.5 pounder come up and just hit the tail of that bait. Like, he just didn't want to commit to it. And then I just had like a 8-incher just hit that bait, and I literally saw that fish engulf the whole thing. Okay, there's one. That fish literally like blew up on the bait there. Woo! All right, there is the first. Ow, goodness. Tell you what, guys, thing's got a sharp hook on it. Not sure if you could see that fish, I was swimming it just below the surface and he blew up on it. As you can see though, it popped through. I mean, that fish is hooked perfect. Like, if this is a tournament situation, this fish is not coming off. Oh gosh. Here we go. That's the first fish. just about 1.5 pounds. I mean, he ate it pretty good. I mean, he had it, that hook popped out. It did everything it was supposed to, so really cool, guys. Really like this. There's another fish right there. Oh, bam, dude. All right, another. He's hooked good. I mean, he ain't coming off, but the bottom of the lip, actually. There's another fish on the Amakatsu Stealth Swimmer. I'll tell you what, I'm really liking this bait. I can just see it working in so many different situations. So this thing just comes through that cover so well, and you know, you really want to let that fish kind of load up on that bait. I actually saw that fish hit the bait. You want to make sure you feel the pressure before you set the hook. That's really going to help you hooking up with more fish. There's one. That's a little bit better one. Good night. There's a giant following that one. Oh my gosh, that was a big one. Woo! Look at that. That fish absolutely crushed that thing. Man, there was about a 4-pounder following that guy. He completely inhaled that bait. I'm telling you what, this bait is legit. Golly, I mean, that's not a giant fish. I mean, 2.5 pounds. He had it completely swallowed. There's about a 4-pounder following that guy. So I'm gonna let him go and see if I can't catch that 4. Hook on this thing is extremely sharp, so if it hits meat, it's going through. And guys, there's another one. Golly, there's another. Look at the fish following him. Look at the fish. Do you guys see that? It's like it's a smallmouth. There's another one, guys. Hook good on it. 1.5 pounds. This area over here, there's a little bit of grass and there's a shade line that's coming about 15 foot off the bank. There seems to be quite a few fish in just this little area. You want to feel the weight of them before you set, because a lot of fish are going to come up there and they're going to absolutely crush a bait when it's kind of that size. When it's a little bit bigger size, come up there and really hit it hard, because if they can't eat it, what they like to do is they like to try to, you know, basically kill it on impact, or at least stun the bait, you know, so that they can come back around and then actually swallow it whole. You know, I went to cast this bait and I hit it on the gunnel of my boat, and I actually popped out the magnet that was sitting in it. So what I've noticed in this bait is that now it seems like if I cast it really hard, this hook actually kind of slips up. So that magnet definitely helped it to stay in place. When you actually buy this bait, guys, it comes in a package of 2. And it comes with a slow sinking one and a fast sinking one. Today I've been using the slow sinking one. I would switch over to the fast sinking one, but I actually gave it away to one of my best friends, so I don't have the bait with me. Like I said, I'm really trying to test out the hooking mechanism. If I was fishing this in a tournament, I would more than likely put a treble hook on this where I needed it to be. One thing I've definitely noticed, guys, with this bait is if that hook pops out like it does, say for instance you skip it up under a tree, or you kind of really wing that cast, every now and then it seems to pop out like this. If it pops out, it tends to roll and it'll actually swim back upside down. So just wanted you guys to know that. You know, obviously I think it's a really good bait, but I want you to know everything that I'm seeing with this bait at the same time. See, guys, this is what I'm talking about. That hook came out and that it's swimming back upside down to me, which actually kind of looks good, but man, I wish I had that magnet in there. There he is. Oh man, gosh, that is so fun. Not a big one, guys. Whoa, there he goes. Oh, hang on. Nope. Guys, as far as rod, reel, line, and equipment setup, you know, I'm fishing this on kind of my typical, oh goodness. Every time I start talking about this bait, I get bit. I'm fishing it though on my typical Magdraft setup. I got 15-pound fluorocarbon line. I have this on a 7 1-to-1 today, and I have a 7-foot 3-inch heavy power rod. This is a fast action rod, so that's kind of my typical Magdraft type setup. Same thing I'm using here. This is, golly, there's a big one. Maybe not that big. It's a decent fish. Yes, sirree. Telling you what, every time I start talking, guys, you can see how that fish, I mean, he absolutely inhaled that thing. I thought he was like a 4-pounder at first. Definitely not a 4-pounder. You can see though, hooked super good. Hooked just, I mean, just right. Like that fish is not coming off there. Obviously you want them to be hooked up here in the bone if you can, but sometimes you can't control that. But man, look at that thing. Beautiful fish. Golly, just so much fun. Guys, the Aimakatsu Stealth Swimmer, I'm gonna leave a link in the description, guys, so you guys can pick up these. They come in a pack of 2. This one is starting to get beat up. I got the magnets not even in it anymore. It's still swimming really well though. I'm gonna keep fishing it though, because man, this is a fun bite. One of the best places to fish a swim bait is actually around docks, so that skipping ability that this thing has is there. Did you see that? Oh my gosh, look at the bass with him, guys. Look at that one. Do you see him? Look at that fish. That's like a 4 or 5-pounder down there. Oh my gosh, he's still swimming with him. Look at him down there. That is a giant. Oh my gosh, he's trying to get the swim bait out of that one's mouth. If you don't think they want that swim bait, that was insane. Man, that is a very sickly looking fish right there. Of course he gets the bait and not that 4 or 5-pounder that I just saw. Overall impression of the Aimakatsu Stealth Swimmer is I really like this bait. This is one that I'm going to be picking up a lot more of. The thing just looks good. Like it just looks natural. It looks good in the water. It has one of the best swimming actions. The head shakes, the tail obviously shakes. It's extremely weedless. Like this could replace a Magdraft in a lot of situations. We all know how great the Magdraft is, and I'm telling you what, this is a bait I'm gonna be picking up. It's that same size, that kind of 6-inch size. Perfect whether you're a tournament fisherman, if you're just beginning, or if you're super experienced with swim baits. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys want to pick them up. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, comment below, and please subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 50K, guys. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.